A million thanks for staying tuned. It's the big story on Quest today. All right. Well, today is Friday, and of course, we are looking at an interesting topic that concerns you as a Nigerian, everyone. All right. In a move that is raising eyebrows, and of course, it has sparked intense debate, President Bola Tinubu has signed into law a whopping 300% salary increase for judicial officers in the country. Yeah, this current decision has sparked heated debates and raised important questions about leadership, priorities, and the future of our dear country, Nigeria. Now, President Tinubu's recent decision to sign into law a 300% salary increase for judicial office holders has left many wondering, is this a well-deserved boost for our judges or a misstep amidst economic uncertainties? Join us as we explore the implications and of course examine the motivations and ask the tough questions. Once again, welcome to The Big Story, a simulcast production of Quest TV and Quest 106.1 FM. My name is Kingsley Wachiku. Well, our guest today will share valuable insights. Don't forget, I will not be doing this alone. Yes, we're going to bring in our guest who will help us navigate this complex issue. So let's dive in and explore the impact of this decision on our nation's judiciary, economy, and the people. And joining me on the show this morning is a member of a civil society organization and an advocate for good governance, Chibundu Uchebu. Yeah, he will be joining us this very beautiful morning. All right. A very good morning to you, Mr. Chibundu, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kingsley. Good morning, Quest. As a guest this morning.
All right. So, Mr. Chibundu will be joining us virtually. So we'll try as much as possible to make sure that we get connected to him. Having said that, just recall that the President Bola Tinubu, has enacted legislation that establishes the salary allowances and additional benefits for judicial office holders in Nigeria. Now, this was made available to newsmen in a statement by the special advisor to the president on Senate matters, Senator Bashir Lado. He actually revealed this decision. And don't forget that in the month of June, the National Assembly approved a bill sent by the president to raise the pay of judicial personnel by 300%. Yeah, the president actually sent that bill to the National Assembly, and on Wednesday, Mr. President signed that bill, and it's now, it's now a law that for the pay of judicial officers, it's been increased by 300%. Now, Senator Lado characterized the president's signing of the bill as a significant accomplishment and a clear demonstration of his steadfast dedication to the well-being of Nigerian workers. Now, that's where concerns were raised by some Nigerians. According to Senator Lado, he said that the signing of the bill was a clear demonstration of his steadfast dedication. And one would wonder, why would the president sign this now amidst economic uncertainties in the country? I mean, talking about the hunger, talking about inflation, talking about unemployment, talking about brain drain. Why should this be now? Why should the signing be now? Why should the salary of judicial officers be raised to 300%? Anyways, our guest will do justice to all of these questions this morning. And like I told you earlier on, we are having a member of a civil society organization and of course an advocate for good governance, Mr. Chibundu Uchebu. A very good morning to you, Chibundu, and welcome to The Big Story.
Good morning, Kingsley.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
A pleasure.
All right. So let's begin. It is no news to you that the president has actually signed 300% salary increase for judicial workers in our dear country, Nigeria. So I'm going to start with the first question. What is the rationale behind this 300% salary increase for judicial holders? And how does it align with the current economic reality?
Okay, thank you once again. In our Constitution, Section 14 precisely, it says, and I quote, the welfare of the people shall be the primary aim of government. The welfare. Before that, you said the security. Now, we need that security here now to prioritize welfare, because in what you are discussing, you mentioned the sickness of who related. President prioritizes the welfare of the judicial. In line with the Constitution, remember the our Constitution. I don't have a problem with that. But amidst economic hardship, why prioritizing this now? That is one. Secondly, do they deserve it? Do the judicial workers deserve this 300 increase in salaries, emoluments, and allowances? My response to that is no, they don't.
Why do you say so?
In the year 2000, good, beautiful question, and that is my response, Mr. Kinsley. How are you prioritizing the welfare of judiciary, whereas the cost, the people you say you are going to serve, that is the Nigerian masses, the people of Nigeria, the exact institution they do not have interest in, they do not have trust in. So why are you prioritizing the welfare of the people that serve in the institution that where the people of Nigeria do not believe in? Now, in the past 1 year or less,
Okay.
violent activities have increased in Nigeria. Why? Those people who participated in these violent activities, ordinarily, they should go to the judiciary to seek justice, to seek for peaceful resolution, but they will not go. Rather, they have approached or have taken to violence. Secondly, people now say, we are Africans, Mr. Kinsley. Let us not have mercy over this. We are Africans.
Yeah.
There are certain things forefathers did in the past. Whenever they have issues, they approach the service of the gods. But in the last 20, 30, 10 years, some of our people are giving up on that. Now they are approaching the gods to settle disputes. Anytime, in the past 3, 4, they have been taken back. They have started going by now as civilized human beings. You see, some days ago, in a public bus where I was, a lady, a widow, she was saying she just lost her husband, according to her. She's from a community, a local government here in Imo State. You know the activities of IPO, non-government, and so on and so forth. And you also have cases of they've started in domestic affairs. Some people, and whenever people have issues, they will go to them because they have taken the people have taken them as their own government because they can display justice in a quicker moment. Now, the lady said that she is expressing fear that her husband's people will come and interfere in what she wants to do in the course of the burial. Therefore, she will go and seek for the services of this unknown government. You come and give her just to come and answer. Because she doesn't have faith in judiciary.
So
that is why I said this is priority for us as a country now. I'm not saying that the emoluments or salary should not be increased, but Mr. Kinsley, Do they deserve it? The
Okay.
answer is no, they don't deserve it.
Okay. Having said that, they don't deserve it. But let's actually look at the timing this is actually coming. Let's look at the timing. Okay.
What you say?
Do you think the timing of this decision is expedient? Did it come at the right time, or would the president have waited maybe to actually settle some of the country's problems? I mean, we just had the just concluded end bad governance protests in some states of the country, where some aggrieved Nigerians took to the street to protest over bad governance, hunger, starvation, unemployment. Now, the timing of this raise in salary of judicial officers, do you think it came at the right time, Mr. Chibundu?
It's 8 times. 8 times. Now, consider. When demands were made by not NSAS now, end bad governance protesters. One of them is electoral reform. Now, remember, this is the priority of the president, which for us, members of the public, most Nigerians, this is not a priority, it's a misplaced priority. All the priorities of the president gradually have been achieved. One, you know about cybercrime law, cybercrime act.
Yeah.
Overnight, the quickest legislation so far you've had in the recent time. After that one, the extension of the retirement age of the current Inspector General of Police. That bill had only 1 hour to pass through legislative processes. Just 1 hour. The president extending the time of retirement. That is another misplaced priority. But it is the priority of the president. Whatever that is the priority of the president, he gets quick attention. But whatever that is the priority of the people, the president will not even give it attention at all. Now, this electoral reform, in the electoral act, the transmission of electronic results through electronic process, it is not in the electoral act. So, what is our target for the bad governance protest? The president should send executive bill to the National Assembly. He could send executive bill to the National Assembly. Of Cyber Security Act, send executive bill to the National Assembly for extension of the retirement age of the President of Police, which is wrong. Now, why can't Mr. President, if he really listens to Nigeria's claims, why can't he send a bill to the National Assembly to amend that electoral act so that compulsory, look at the terminology here, compulsory transmission of results through electronic process should be in the legislation, should be in the electoral act, so that the people will have faith in the judiciary. Do you know why? Because I say that these judges, they do not deserve this increase in emolument and salaries. Now, do you know why we witness violent activities in the course of election?
Yeah.
Because people know that when they lose the election, they will not have faith in judiciary. Otherwise, if you lose election and you feel that you are aggrieved that no, this law is not democratic, therefore you are going to go to the judiciary to challenge it. When you have faith in the judiciary will restore your mandate. But look at today. So Mr. President is saying thank you to the people in the judiciary who his benefactors, let me put it that way. He said thank you to them.
Okay, so
I'm preparing them for 2027 election. It's strategic. We know all these things. We know all these things. Now, my question is, where is National Assembly? Now, in the National Assembly, my next question is, where are the opposition parties in the National Assembly who have approved this quick legislation? Where is Labour Party lawmakers? Where is MPP lawmakers? Where are MPP lawmakers? Where are the PDP lawmakers? National Assembly makers? Where are they?
So all the people you mentioned now, they were actually present when it passed through the readings. They were all present. So why didn't they object?
Hello? What did you say?
People that you mentioned, they were all present during the reading of this bill. So why didn't they object? Why did he have to just get to the why did he have to get to the first reading, second reading, third reading, and now it's been approved by the president?
Yeah, they never raised opposition to it. Because these are the voices of Nigerians now, not the ruling party, because the ruling party will always do the dictates of the president, who is the president. Imagine 3 weeks ago, was it 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, then Senate leader, Senate chief, when he raised for one country, he sanctioned him, and because of that, he was APC can do that to its members, but PDP cannot do that to its members. Abga cannot do that to its members. No party cannot do that to its members. So when there is opposition to it, because they should be speaking for Nigerians. We are running representative democracy, where all Nigerians will not be in the National Assembly at the same time. Therefore, few people, through the people, remember, still in this section 14 of the Constitution, subsection 2, it said, sovereignty belongs to the people. The government, through the Constitution, the and authorities. Have you seen it? Sovereignty of this, from them, get all your powers, get all your authorities. Now, where can't you, whenever you want to execute anything that involves their resources, you seek their audience, you seek their consent, and you seek their approval.
Okay, so Mr. Chibundu,
that is my position here.
All right.
Because remember, these judges, this assent the president has to the bill, making it a law now. The president does not have money. He's going to use the money of Nigerians. Taxpayers' money to pay them. Okay. How can you pay people that are not serving Nigerians?
Okay.
And you say Nigerians should be happy? And you tell me Nigerians should not embark on strike?
All right.
Nigerians should not embark on protest? Nigerians should not leave? No, let's says the truth, Mr. Kinsley.
Okay, so with this decision, what message does this send to other public sector workers and citizens? What message is it sending to them regarding the government's priorities? What message do you think it's sending to other government public workers? Answer this in 1 minute because of our time.
Good. You see, let me cite this, Mr. Kinsley. In 2000 and the time we had, what else crash we had that time, was it Sosoliso or a Bellevue? During then President Jonathan, when we had that crash, President Jonathan on his own convert condolences. People of us, we said no. That those people who died in the air crash, and Jonathan is condoling with them. But we have people who have been dying in car accidents on our roads. And those people who died in air crash, more Nigerians than these Nigerians. Now, here is my analysis now. Okay. These judicial workers, what are they doing that ASU staff are not doing? What are they doing that civil servants are not doing? That's why I said civil servants, because these judicial workers are also civil servants. What are they doing that those in health sector are not doing? Those in body sector are not doing. Those in work sector are not doing. So why is the president prioritizing the rich over the poor? Why is unnecessaries over the necessaries? Why is he prioritizing benefactors over Nigerian beneficiaries who should benefit from the commonwealth of Nigeria? So that is going to raise eyebrows and agitation.
All right. A million thanks, Mr. Chibundu, for sharing your insight. Don't forget, we are discussing the signing by the president. He has actually signed 300% salary rise for judicial officers in the country. And it has raised a whole lot of concerns. People are asking, questioning about the timing and, of course, the priority. Is this government actually, taking in and putting in consideration the people's needs, the people's welfare, for them to actually raise the salary of judicial office holders by 300%. And don't forget NLC, that's the Nigeria Labour Congress, and of course the Trade Union Congress actually, asked for a pay rise. Yeah, and that's concerning the minimum wage. And well, at the end of the day, the president signed 70,000 naira into law. So the new minimum wage for a Nigerian worker is 70,000 naira. Now, some questions have been asked when this particular decision was being taken by Mr. President. Well, we're going to say a million thanks to Mr. Chibundu for your insight. Thank you for sharing your insight on the show this morning. We're going to go on a quick break, and when we come back, when we return, we'll be joined by a legal practitioner, Barrister Azuma Chinagorom, as he shares his own thoughts on this particular issue. Please stay with us. It's still the big story.
Quest beyond expectations.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Now we are being joined by a legal practitioner, Barrister Azuma Chinagorom, who would also share his insight to this discuss this morning. A very good morning to you, Barrister Azuma, and welcome to the big story.
Very well.
Okay, so it's no news that okay, well, maybe I should start by saying congratulations, because it's your field. Yeah, it's the decision by the president is for your field. So I say congratulations are in order.
Thank you very much.
All right. So critics argue that this move may compromise judicial independence and impartiality. How would you respond to these concerns?
Well, you have to consider the work that these judicial officers in thinking. When you consider what the Nigerian worker takes as a salary at the end, I do not feel that there is nothing wrong in the increment made in the salary of officers.
Okay, so now, what are the expected outcomes of this decision on the justice system's efficiency? Of course, effectiveness and accountability as well.
Now, you also understand that when you are properly remunerated for the work you do, it incentivizes that very work. So it is expected that these judicial officers will have the needed incentive to perform at their best. And we also feel that we need to more effective justice delivery system. So it's a step in the right direction.
Now, when you say it is a step in the right direction, I mean, come on, we've actually had cases where the people now say the judiciary is no longer the last hope of the common man. How do you respond to that? I mean, looking at some of the antecedents.
The judiciary has always been the last hope of the common man. Of course, you will not take notice or but what we are saying, in effect, is that at the end of the day, if our judges are properly remunerated for the services they provide, it will enable them function at their best. You need to see the level of work these judicial officers carry out. And what makes this distinction then? The benefit of the common man. When we are talking about judicial officers, we are not talking about the supporting staff, those that make up the judicial union staff. We are talking about Chief Justice of the Federation, Justices of the Supreme Court, Justices of the Court of Appeal, the state judge, the presiding justice of the customary court of appeal, and as well Sharia court of appeal.
Yeah.
Those who sit on the bench, we are saying that these officers should be properly remunerated. And of course, when they are properly remunerated, as the executive has done, they will provide services to work at their best. And this will also enable the human man to face justice at the end of the day.
So in other words,
the increment in the salary and the remuneration of judicial officers does not in any way increase the assets justice that the common man is entitled to.
So let's even go back. Let's even go back to the work they actually do. Now, you've actually mentioned most of these people, the chief justices, justices of the Supreme Court, and their likes. Now, how often do they even do their work effectively? How often do we even see them handle cases? That's some of the questions people are asking. These judges that their remunerations are being raised, how often do we even see their services come out effectively for the country?
Well, there is no saying that the workload of these officers are so overbloated that you not even enter them. At the end of the day, some judges have this workload that if you are allowed to occupy a position, you do not really want to go under the stress of that they go through. Now, you also want to make this distinction to you that there is a difference between the salary that the judicial officer earns and the working conditions of a judicial officer. Now, when you consider what conditions under which some of these officers work, you get to realize that the salary is more or less nothing to talk about.
Okay, so now that the decision has actually been given, well, everyone is happy. Not everyone, though. How will the government ensure that this increase does not create a disconnect between the judiciary and the general public? Or don't you think so?
There is no need for such connection. Okay. Now you have to.
Okay, hold on. You know why I asked you. You know why I asked you that question. I mean, take a look at the just concluded End Bad Governance protest. They actually raised some concerns. They made some demands, and one of the demands that they made was to reduce fuel price, which the president did not do. When he addressed the country, he actually said he was not going to go back to returning fuel subsidy. That was one of the demands. So now, if he actually said that for the protesters, and the protesters are now seeing that he has increased the salary of judges by 300%, don't you think it's gonna cause a disconnect between them?
The increment in the minimum wage, okay?
How much is it?
About 100.
How much is it? 70. We're talking about 70,000 naira.
Yes, it's about 120% increment.
Okay.
And that increment had been done before. And we're looking at judicial officers whose salaries at the minimum have not been increased for the past 16 years. Okay? So, if the government says they are increasing your salary by 100%, it's actually not fair to these judicial officers. They have had to toil and labor on this strenuous situation. And at the end of the day, take no on things at stake.
So now, how would you prefer the government would have approached this decision so as to have a balance between the judiciary and the people? Because currently we don't see any balance at all, because the ordinary Nigeria would think that the federal government is being some sort of bias in its decisions.
Well, wage increment is an ongoing process in Nigeria, not just for judicial officers, but for workers of God. Every worker is entitled to be properly remunerated for the services the worker provides. Government should engage workers and then ensure these workers are paid appropriately. So I think it's an ongoing process. Okay? The only thing is the way and manner the executive went about increasing the salary of officers without engaging the NJC properly. Ordinarily, the recommendation should have come from the NJC, and that recommendation would have incorporated not just the salary of judicial workers, officers, but also their working conditions, taking into consideration a whole lot of factors that not possible. But just like I said earlier, wage increment will be an ongoing process wherein the federal and state government will engage the workers and ensure that they are properly remunerated for their services.
Okay, so let's now talk about the impact of this decision. Now, how would the government monitor the impact of the decision and make adjustments as needed? Because, I mean, they've increased their pay rise by 300%. And, of course, the government is supposed to, actually follow up and make sure that, they deliver and not just not just increasing their pay now by 300%. And at the end of the day, we don't get results. So what would you project that the government used to monitor the impacts of this decision?
Well, the government had already made provisions in their appropriation so as to enable that these judicial officers at the end of the day are paid appropriately.
Hello, are you there? Don't forget, Barrister Azuma is joining us virtually. So this is bound to happen. We'll just try as much as possible to make sure that we get back to him on the show this morning. All right. In case you're just joining us, we are looking at the signing by Mr. President, 300% pay rise for judicial officers. A whole lot of questions have been asked and are still asking. People are wondering, why would the president agree to sign to that, giving the judicial officers 300% pay increase? And I'm not forgetting that some protesters in the first day of the month of August down to the 10th day were protesting on the streets, asking for some demands to be met by the federal government over bad governance, economic hardship, poverty, unemployment, and so on, including inflation. Yeah, but we are here to actually, seek answers to the many questions Nigerians have actually asked concerning the pay rise of judicial officers in our dear country, Nigeria, by 300%. And not forgetting that the president also signed into law the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira. Now, do the maths, compare and contrast. Okay, so for some Nigerians, they are actually angry that, of course, why would the president sign this for the judicial officers? Some questions that were asked was, why would they sign this now at this critical time of the economy? And also, people also asked, why would the president agree to do this for judges? I mean, they cited that the economy would crumble if they increase the minimum wage for Nigerian workers up to 400,000 naira when they projected 400,000 naira, when they proposed 400,000 naira for the new minimum wage. I mean, a whole lot of concerns was raised. People said it was going to, dwindle the economy. But now the president has signed for the judicial officers 300% pay rise. Would this not, dwindle the economy? All right, let's get back to Barrister Azuma again. You're welcome back, Barrister. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you very much.
All right. So before we had that network glitch. I was actually talking about how ways in which the government can actually monitor this decision to actually create a huge impact, positive impact for our dear country, Nigeria. Please go ahead.
The government is to by making something and of course that was attempted the president. And when you talk about economic impact, and about the increment of
Are you there, Barrister Azuma? Okay, well, just like I said, he's joining us virtually, and yeah, these things are bound to happen. Would always have a network glitch. We're still in Nigeria. Yeah, this is Nigeria, our dear country. Anyways, so far so good. I'm sure you've been able to pick out one or two things concerning this particular decision made by Mr. President, signing 300% salary increase for judicial officers in our dear country, Nigeria. Yeah, a whole lot of questions have been asked, and of course, our guests have actually done justice to the questions raised, and of course, concerns, and of course, they have actually, profile some, enabling solution that would actually make sure that the judiciary, the justice system of our dear country, Nigeria, functions effectively without any bias. Okay, well, time is no longer friendly with us, but before we go, let's get back to Barrister Azuma. Barrister Azuma, you're welcome back.
Thank you very much.
All right, a quick one. Just brush up with what you were saying before I ask you my final question.
Just they also needs to be considered in relation to other people families. Okay, and now we are saying that the minimum wage, what about 120% increment in the wages of civil service? And then the judiciary is getting 300. For there to be inflation, the purchasing power of the average citizen has to be raised in such a manner that there is much demand, and that in effect would negatively impact on the economy. Now, what is the average purchasing power in a Nigerian worker? A worker who receives 1,000 at the end of the month and not even afford a bag of rice. There. So we do not see this income. Will impact on the economy and cause inflation. There are other factors which would have lead to inflation. Certainly.
Many thanks to you, Barrister Azuma. But before I let you go, well, a whole lot is expected from the judges, from the judiciary, from our justice system. A whole lot is being expected of them. Well, as a practitioner, yeah, you're in the field. It's your sector. What's that advice you would want to give? You want to give out, and of course, not just to your colleagues, but also to Nigerians, because there has to be a balance. There has to be an agreement between the judiciary and the people, because currently the people don't see them in that light as the last hope for the common man. So we need to come to that, that leveling ground. So what would be your advice?
Much is expected is paid maximally for the services you provide at the work. You should be able to function at your
All right. All
so
right.
we do not expect a situation where a inspector fails to discharge him of not being his
All right. Many thanks to you, Barrister Azuma Chinagorom. Barrister Azuma Chinagorom is a legal practitioner. A very big thank you for being on the show and, of course, sharing your insights in this particular discuss this morning. Well,
thank you very much.
all right. All right. Okay, so this is where we actually draw the curtain for today on the discuss, but we're going to have you be a part of the conversation that have your say. Don't forget, you have your say in this particular matter. So the 300% salary increase for judicial office holders has sparked intense debate and raised important questions about priorities, timing, and impact. Well, that opportunity is coming shortly after this timeout. Thank you for joining us.